Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're diving into something I think a lot of people are curious about. It's stop smoking hypnosis.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So we've got some excerpts from Virginie guide called
Okay.
Best Stop Smoking Hypnosis Session. And we're going to really unpack how it works.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it's like,
Yeah.
just gonna snap their fingers and
Yeah.
you'll never want a cigarette again, but
Right.
it's a lot more nuanced than that.
It's a process.
It is, yeah.
So one thing that kind of jumped out at me at the beginning
Okay.
was this idea that it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Exactly.
It's not just like everyone gets the same script
No,
and they're all hypnotized the same way.
everyone's an individual, right?
Right.
And so a good hypnotist will understand that,
Okay.
and they'll tailor their approach to each person.
So it's almost like
Right.
detective work.
It is.
You've got to figure out why
Absolutely.
this person's.
Like, what are the underlying reasons
That
for
works,
their
yeah.
triggers?
Yes. Okay, so that brings us to the hypnotic interview,
Yeah.
which sounds very mysterious and intriguing.
It does. It does.
But tell me, what is it? What happens in that?
So the hypnotic interview it's not just like filling out a form.
Right.
How long have you smoked?
Right. The basic.
How many packs a day? Yeah, it's going deeper than that.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, you say you smoke when you're stressed.
Okay.
What kind of stress?
I see.
What exactly is happening when you reach for that cigarette?
So we're getting into those
Yes.
nuances.
The nitty gritty.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And sometimes I guess that reveals what they call the unconscious payoff.
The unconscious payoff, yeah.
Okay, so tell me what that is.
So the unconscious payoff is this idea that even though smoking is harmful,
Right.
logically we know that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Our unconscious mind might still be getting some kind of benefit from it,
Mhm.
some kind of payoff.
So it's like it thinks it's helping us.
Yeah, it's trying to help us, but it's not helping us in the long run.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So someone who maybe smokes to feel more confident
Yeah.
at a party, it's not really about the looking cool.
Right.
It's about maybe belonging.
Exactly.
Fitting
Fitting
on.
in. It's a sense of belonging.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this gets complicated.
It does. It does.
So once the hypnotist has done all this detective work, figured out all these things
Mm-hmm.
about the person,
Mm-hmm.
then they dive into the hypnosis, right?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
There's another important step called priming.
Priming. Okay, so what's priming?
Have you ever, watched a sporting event?
Yeah.
You see athletes warming up their muscles before the game?
Of course.
Yeah.
Got to get loose.
Exactly. So priming is kind of like a warm-up for the mind.
Oh, I see.
The hypnotist might talk about how enjoyable and relaxing the session is going to be,
Okay.
or how easy it will be to access your inner resources.
So you're setting the stage.
Setting the stage, exactly.
Their success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the hypnotic interview itself can also help to loosen up the mind a little bit.
Really? How so?
Well, you come in with all these beliefs about smoking, right?
Right, of course.
Maybe it helps you relax. Maybe it's part of your social routine.
Yeah.
But the hypnotic interview can kind of challenge those beliefs.
Oh, I see.
Find those little gaps in the logic.
So it's breaking down those walls.
Yeah, breaking down the walls.
A little bit?
Yeah. And
Right.
that can make you more open to change.
So instead of forcing someone to change their mind,
Right.
it's more about helping them guide them,
Yeah.
to see things differently.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the hypnotic interview,
Yeah.
we've got the priming,
Mm.
and then what's next?
Well, then we get into the actual hypnosis techniques.
Ooh, okay, now we're talking.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we've got a whole toolbox to explore.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into those techniques.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
Me too. Stay with us. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork
Yep.
with the interview and the priming. Now we're getting into the actual hypnosis.
Right. The main event.
Yeah. What is that like?
So it's not like, those cheesy movies where someone snaps their fingers.
So you're clucking like a chicken.
Exactly. It's actually a very natural state.
Wow.
Like that feeling when you're drifting off to sleep
Oh, yeah.
or really engrossed in a book.
Right, you kind of lose track of time.
Yeah, it's that kind of relaxed, focused state.
So I'm relaxed. What's happening now?
So now the hypnotist will start working with those limiting beliefs we talked about.
Right, right.
And they'll use suggestions to gently shift those beliefs into more empowering ones.
Okay, can you give me an example of that?
Sure. Let's say someone believes that smoking helps them cope with stress.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people say that.
Right. The hypnotist might ask, is there anything else that helps you feel calmer,
Okay.
more in control? Maybe they mention taking deep breaths or listening to music.
So you're giving the unconscious mind
Exactly.
other options.
Yes. New tools to work with.
I like that, new tools. And so then instead of saying,
Yeah.
you will never smoke again,
Right.
it's more about guiding them to imagine.
Exactly.
Like using those new tools.
Yes.
Okay.
So instead of reaching for a cigarette, they reach for that deep breath
Oh, I see.
or that calming music.
So it's like replacing the bad habit.
Yeah, it's about creating new, healthier patterns.
So something good.
Exactly.
That's cool. Okay.
And this can be done in so many different ways.
Really?
Yeah, hypnotists might use storytelling.
Well, of course.
There's even a bit of humor.
I like that. Keep it light.
Yeah.
So it's like a creative process.
It is. It's like an art form.
Wow. Okay. So the person goes through this process. They've shifted some beliefs, got new tools. Are they like cured?
Well, I wish it were that simple.
Right.
But change takes time.
Yeah.
It's not always a straight line.
So it's possible that they could
Yeah,
still feel tempted
absolutely.
after the session.
Yeah, you might find yourself reaching for a cigarette, just out of habit.
Okay. But wouldn't that be discouraging?
Well, it can be, but that's where the concept of emerging phenomena comes in.
Emerging phenomena. What's that?
It's like planting a seed.
Right. Okay.
You don't see the sprout immediately, but with time, it breaks through the surface.
Oh, I see.
And change works in a similar way.
So it might not be immediate.
Yeah, the changes might unfold gradually, sometimes even days or weeks after the session.
That's good to know.
And a good hypnotist will prepare you for that, let you know that it's a process.
Not just a quick fix.
It's a journey, not a destination.
I like that, a journey. And I guess having a good support system helps too.
Absolutely.
Like friends and family.
Yeah, people who can encourage you,
Keep you on track.
help you navigate those tricky moments.
Now, I've heard about these things called post-hypnotic suggestions.
The post-hypnotic suggestions, yeah.
What are those?
Those are suggestions that are kind of woven into the session,
Okay.
and they're designed to activate later, when you're back in your everyday life.
So it's like a
Little reminders. Yeah, little reminders, little nudges.
from your unconscious mind.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Like the hypnotist might suggest
Yeah.
that every time you reach for a cigarette,
Mm.
you automatically remember how good it feels to breathe deeply.
Oh, interesting.
Or they might create a suggestion. That makes the smell of smoke repulsive.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's really about tailoring them to the individual's needs.
So personalized.
Absolutely. But the important thing is they should align with your own goals.
Of course, yeah.
It's not about forcing you to do anything you don't truly want.
Right. It's got to be
Yeah.
in alignment with your own desires.
Exactly. But even with all these tools, it's important to remember that going back to your reality will still present challenges. Those stressors, those social situations, all those things.
They don't just disappear.
Yeah, they don't just magically vanish.
So what happens when the person goes back to their life and they face those same old triggers?
Well, that's where the real work begins.
Okay, so how do they deal with that?
They need to practice those new coping mechanisms.
Right. Use the new tools.
Use those tools and really, adapt to their surroundings with this new mindset.
It sounds like it's a lot of work,
It is. It's an ongoing process.
but it's worth it, right?
Absolutely, because you're creating a healthier, happier you.
I've been thinking, as we've been talking about this, this isn't just for smokers.
Right, exactly. These principles can apply to so many areas of life.
Like what?
Well, think about those habits you mentioned earlier.
Right, the ones I'm trying to break.
Maybe you want to eat healthier,
Yeah?
exercise more,
Yeah, all those things.
be more assertive at work.
Right, right.
These same principles can help you overcome those challenges too.
So it's like we're getting a bonus lesson here.
Exactly. It's all about understanding the power of the unconscious mind.
Very cool. But before we get too carried away, there's one more piece
Okay.
of this puzzle. The hypnotists themselves.
Right. The all-important hypnotist.
So what makes a good hypnotist?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll dive into in the next segment.
Okay, Cam.
But I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
The most important factor in successful hypnosis is the client's willingness to change.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's about embracing the process, trusting your inner resources, and believing in that possibility.
Of a smoke-free future.
For whatever change you're seeking.
I love that. Yeah, that willingness to change it's huge.
It is.
But having a good hypnotist to kind of guide you through that process.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about what makes a good hypnotist.
What to look for. So obviously you want someone who's certified and experienced.
Okay, qualifications.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you want someone who's compassionate,
Okay.
empathetic.
Makes you feel comfortable.
Yes, a good listener.
Okay.
Someone who can create that safe and trusting space.
It's like almost like a therapist.
Yeah, there are definitely some similarities.
But with hypnotic skill.
With that extra layer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And, you want someone who really takes the time to understand you.
Okay.
Your individual needs.
Your triggers.
Your triggers, your motivations. So it's not just about finding the closest hypnotist in the phone book.
Right.
It's about finding the right fit.
Yeah, okay.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh, yeah, that's good advice.
Ask about their approach, their experience, their success rate.
Yeah.
A good hypnotist will be happy to answer those questions.
And I'm guessing, just like with a therapist or a doctor, like you got to trust your gut.
Your intuition, absolutely. You want to feel good about the person you're working with.
Okay, so I've done my research.
Okay.
I found someone who seems qualified. And I feel good about it. I'm committed. Is there anything else I can do?
Okay, so one thing that Virginie Amir talks about in her guide is the importance of preparing your environment.
Oh, interesting.
Think about the places where you typically smoke.
Okay.
What are the triggers in those environments?
So for me, it might be like my desk at work.
Okay.
Or maybe the patio after dinner.
Right. So could you remove ashtrays from those spaces?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Could you stock your desk drawer with healthy snacks?
Okay.
Put on some relaxing music after dinner.
It's like setting up my environment for success.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And it's not just about removing triggers. It's also about creating new positive associations. Maybe start a new hobby, join a gym.
Spend more time in nature.
Yeah, find things that bring you joy.
That don't involve smoking. Okay, so it sounds like this whole process is about way more than just quitting smoking.
It is.
It's like creating a whole new life.
A healthier, happier life.
I love that. Well, this has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much about stop smoking hypnosis.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
I feel like we've really uncovered a lot of fascinating stuff about the unconscious mind.
Absolutely. And the power of change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, what we've talked about today, it applies to so many areas of life.
It does. It does.
Not just quitting smoking.
If you're trying to adopt healthier habits, break free from old patterns.
Any kind of change.
It all starts with understanding yourself, tapping into those inner resources, and believing in the possibility of transformation.
That's a good takeaway. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but this has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
Into the world of stop smoking hypnosis. And, maybe some of you listening, this has sparked something for you. Maybe you're ready to make a change in your own life, whatever that might be.
And remember, be patient with yourself.
Yes.
Celebrate your progress and never give up on that